All right. Why does it say we? Let's see. I see a black screen. That's not good. Let's go to my channel and see what we see. Guys, are we on the right Wi-Fi? Let me make sure we're on the good Wi-Fi. Yeah, we are. We are. All right, anyways, welcome back to my channel. I'm Auntie Tay. If you guys are new here, that's who I am. If you're not, welcome back. I've missed you. And I'm pretty sure it's because my laptop's not on the good Wi-Fi, so I can't see it. But I can see it through there. But let's just double check before I start blabbing. Hi, Missy. Hi, Jennifer. I'm assuming since you guys are commenting, you guys can see me. Yes? How is it? Let's see. Come on. Come on. I don't know why there's so many steps to get here. I think we're here. Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. You guys are more reliable than me. Hey, Chelsea. Hey, my Lissa. Happy Tuesday. Yep. It's a happy Tuesday. I was just listening to Forrest Frank. And is the microphone working? I was listening to audio last week and I was like, get over yourself. It sounds way better like that. So, anybody know who Forrest Frank is? Because literally a miracle happened a couple days ago that I shared on my stories. But he broke his back and he wrote a bunch of songs while he was laid up in bed. And then he literally woke up to his back just being completely healed. It was amazing. So, hey, Melissa. Hey, Emmy. So, we're talking content. This is kind of stemmed from last night's Zoom. My topics on YouTube are going to be relevant for everyone, but I will always have the ability to break down more specifically for my business members these things according to their businesses and what they need specifically. So today we're talking content planning, and I have these printables. These are going to be our free printable for August 2025. So if you're watching this now, you can get this for the rest of the year in 2025 because the way I do my free printables is they compound until the end of the year and then we start fresh in January with new free printables. But if you join my free newsletter on auntietay.com, you will get these for the rest of the year, including all the other stuff that I've come out with this year that's just very, very random. But that's because I am deep into my content planning. So, content planning, content is king, right? And you might be like, I hate content planning. I hate content. I hate making content. I don't want to be on the internet. And I get you. I feel you. However, content, whoa, guys, don't wiggle. Content is not just social media content. So we have two forms of content when we are thinking small business or large business. This is always scalable until you're a large business. But content planning comes with planning your actual content, like your product, your regimen, your rhythms for creating your actual product, your product launches, your product PR, your product marketing, all the things. So we're going to do two categories. Okay, this side of my screen is going to be content for your business. And then this side is actual marketing content, what you would typically think when you think content strategy. So there are 3 different weekly planners that I suggest trying to use. And this one is they're all printed in gray because I love gray, but this one is a much larger squared layout, and it's more for like time blocking. It has morning, afternoon, evening, night, and notes. But then I have 2 that are time blocked, and these are an hour, and they give you a good size block. But there's for the really specific tasks, we have a half an hour. Are these half an hour? Yes, these are half an hour time blocks. And I printed 2 of these, the medium-sized ones, because this is what I was explaining to my business members last night, was that you have 2 content calendars. Realistically, you have content that will be seen by the public, and I want you to print one out for that. And then you have content management So behind the scenes, what do you need to be doing? You may, on your content for the public, have something completely different than what you're actually managing in real time, because your content coming out could be something you worked on 2 or 3 months ago, whereas the content you're currently working on is for 3 months from now, if that makes sense. So print out as many as you need, but I don't necessarily always suggest printables. You can use Google Calendar. We talked about this last night. The reason I love Google Calendar is you can create a bunch of calendars inside your calendar, and you can turn some of them off if they're overwhelming. You can color code them. It's a great time. You can do time blocking with it, but you can also do more generic, like throughout the whole month. So if you guys want to see more of that, I believe I have a video in my arsenal of videos on my business membership, but I can always refresh and do updated versions or go live and stuff. Started working on my content planning for Instagram for Sweet Buttercup Designs, DIY Melissa, and Mama Birds. I love that. And I will say, this does not need to just be for your own business, whether you are a content manager for other companies, you can use this, or do it over and over again for multiple channels. So if you have a channel or a brand, I don't want it all mudded on one. I want it compartmentalized in your brain. But obviously, it's all got to come together if you're the one doing all of it. So you do need somewhere where it can consolidate into your task list for the week. Task list. So what you need to do is each, like, say you have, so like Melissa, I'm going to use you for an example. She has 3 technical brands. She has Sweet Buttercup Designs, which is her paper designs and party designs. Then she has DIY Melissa, which just generalized DIYs and crafts. And then now she has, sorry, the chat just disappeared. Oh, because it's on an ad. Now she has Mama Birds. Hold on. I don't. Why has technology always got to get in my way? Where's the live chat? Show chat. Okay. Then she has Mama Birds, which is her new brand that she is starting for empty nesting, things to do after you don't have littles anymore. And I'm living for it. So those are 3 completely different pieces of content. And that could be very muddy when you are just starting your day and you're like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Do I cut paper? Do I have a party? Do I, so really writing all of this down and getting it organized and broken up into steps. Now, I do not suggest having 3 channels, 3 brands, 3 businesses at all until you can manage one. So when you can manage one and you can get into a rhythm where you look the way you want to look, it's coming out the way you want it to come out. And I say this because I am in a new season of figuring out what I want my content to actually look like. So for that, my content is show up. Show up as much as I can while I am switching around and figuring things out, moving from a studio. It can be done cringy and it can be done well and strategic, but there's power to both of those. And we are going to actually talk about those more in more morning time live streams. I will be talking more about like the power of doing it cringy, the power of being authentic. So it within your content construct, we don't really care what the content looks like yet. We will always fine tune that and make it better, but there really is power to showing up as you are. And while the last 10 years have been really messy in my life, it's been cringy for me to be like, I don't want to go on the internet where I'm trying to build a brand and be emotional. But, it's been part of the journey. So while I'm trying to kind of figure out where that stuff fits and where my brand fits, I'm taking all of this and I'm kind of refining it into steps that you guys can follow as well. So give it a year, and within a year, Auntie Tay's brand is going to look so different, but you will have, not different, but it'll look polished and cleaned up. But I will have a special space or a special time or a special area where people who want to connect with me personally can do that, because I love the authenticity. I love that. So with that, in planning your schedule, the goal to planning your schedule is not to overwhelm you. Let's just start with that. That's why I highly suggest starting with one maybe you have 4 or 5 different small businesses. Let's start with getting a content schedule together for one. And realistically, if you have 5 businesses running, I'm sorry, but you got to figure out how to do this for all of them. But before you start 5, this is like for people who are just like, I kind of want to jump full time into online businesses. And once you learn the formula and the branding and the marketing, you can do multiple. And they don't have to look alike. They don't have to be cohesive at all, but we're going to keep them separated, but you're still the runner of them all. So the content planning, whether you're doing it or you have an assistant doing it, you need to understand this stuff because you need to know what is going in and out of your business at all times. So is this making sense, guys? Am I rambling yet? That's when I know it's time to wrap the video up. So what is great is I can have all 3 of them work together sometimes too. Yeah, and if you have cohesive businesses and your content runs together and you can repurpose pieces of your content, that's great. We'll talk more about content strategy in another topic or probably on Zoom as I start to work specifically with each person's content strategy, because then it sparks me to go, "Oh, this is something that people need to know. Like everyone needs to know." So, um with that, what you need to do is show yourself what your brand is going to be doing. So I want you to start and we're going to work backwards. So for the first plan of action is for one of your brands, one of your businesses. So I'll use Barbara's here. She's a soap business. So say she wants to drop a product every Friday or she wants to showcase a product every Friday. She's going to put on her Friday schedule where she's showcasing that. Is it in her newsletter? Is it on her social media accounts? Is it on all of her social media accounts? Is it on you know what I'm saying? Where is it going? Are you creating a YouTube video once a month? Are you creating a YouTube series once a year, once a month, once? Are you making a video series for behind the scenes on your website to explain how to use your product? When does that come out? Does that even matter if it has a push or is it just a tool you're trying to add? So if it's not like a public tool that is needed to push, although we can always take snippets from those tools and push those to the public so they know they're there, we need to know when those are going to come out. We also need to be aware of how your social media looks. If you are a professional brand, I want your social media looking professional. So that means when it's time to come out with this product, how are we going to line it up so that when it's said and done and it's all on your social media and somebody may be looking at your newest content, they can scroll to your older content and they will still see exactly what you were trying to say there. It's not mudded together, it's not messy. The social media scheduling platform I really love is Later, and I use that with my team. And by my team, I mean me and Tiff right now. So we use Later. We love it because we can schedule out Instagram. We've been playing with Instagram for a while, and actually, the more polished stuff, it does really great for a brand, but it does not do wonders for you reaching people. So again, we'll talk strategy in another video, but we still like some stuff to look really polished, especially if you have a product. We want your product to look really good. Hot Mess Express is fine in the realm of reality. Like, yes, we look Hot Mess Express, but we push our products and our brand to be professional and show up well. You know what I'm saying? So, why is my chat being wonky? I have to work on YouTube content. I need to figure out products. And yeah, so there's a lot we're working on over here in the business membership. And again, everybody is going to be in a different level of their business. We've got, and this is why I am really fine tuning exactly the Zoom meetings and everything that will come out. Probably more 2026, but fall we will start really putting everybody into their areas where they are. So you've got startups, you've got dreaming, you've got the marketing part of your brand, because that's when your brand is moving and you've got your systems in play. We're doing another video this week on systems and why those are important. And so learning your system is important. Is that the mid-video grunt, Oliver? I got both the dogs in here today, so that's fun. Every post is a mood board. Yeah, and some people love that part of it. Some people are just like over it and they don't like that, but it really does look so pretty when you put your products together and they look really good. So while content is not looking ever like, let me try that again. Content doesn't look the same for everybody, but it needs to look like what you are trying to portray. Not just necessarily trying. I hate the idea of being like fake or like polished if you like, but there really is a level of professionalism if you think about a brand. Let's just pick a random one like Sharpie. If you go onto Sharpie's website or Sharpie's social media, you're probably not going to see the founder of Sharpie talking about their pickup line at school. Maybe they will. Maybe that is part of their branding. I don't know. I haven't been on their stuff, but maybe they're showing up in way. And I don't know. All brands are different. And you know what? A lot of people are realizing the relatability-ness of it is great. But what I'm talking about is if you have a product and you're doing photos of it and you want that product to look like you're making that product in a sanitary environment. Hence why I don't ship out of this area. This is sanitary, but it's just messy. Actually, there's a spider web working in my embroidery bag, and I am not happy about it. So there's a spider in there. I'm not happy. Love the Zooms and helping and brainstorming with everyone. Yes, they are so helpful, and we do deep dive more and more specifically into each person's business. But like I said, this is the type of stuff we talk about, and this is the type of stuff I'm going to hold you guys accountable to and coach you and teach you guys through too. So, my business members are usually always here in the chat, and a lot of them are here today, and they come from all different types of backgrounds and products, and it's really cool for them to help each other and work together. But for content, it's important, whether you think it's important or not, to be okay. So here's a little backstory. I think I'm going to throw little backstories in as much as I can because I was like, you know what? I've got all this like stuff in my back pocket that I've been through that is very applicable. So when I first started YouTube, I was deep diving YouTube content strategy, and thumbnails were huge. We talked about thumbnails a week ago or something, and I was spending a lot of time planning out my videos, making the thumbnail, um, thinking ahead of what that video would look like and where it would push in the future, and making it evergreen. I have a whole video coming out on evergreen content and why that's so important. And by video, I mean a live stream like this. So if you like them, watch them. If not, find someone more polished than me, I guess, to talk about it. But I was in a YouTube, I probably still am in the group on Facebook somewhere, but it's like a YouTube creators group. And I remember sharing my process, and it was a printable I had created to plan. Okay, you guys, I am shaking you guys like crazy. That is not cute. Let me stop touching the table. So I put up this printable and I was like, hey guys, do you guys see anything on this that I might be missing? I had like plan out my content, write my script, follow my script, do my voiceover, make the thumbnail, do the SEO, do the description. And when I kid you not, every single comment was, you do this? Like everybody was just posting willy-nilly on YouTube, and 97% of these people probably don't exist on YouTube anymore. And I'm not saying like I'm better than them or anything like that. What I'm saying is that's how my brain works. So I think I was cut out for this kind of love on the internet. Like I love doing this. I think my brain was cut out and wired for social media strategy, all the things. And I just naturally did it because I liked doing that part. And it surprised me that every single comment was, I didn't know people put so much time and effort into their YouTube videos. I thought they just popped a camera up and filmed them. And I was like, no, no, there's so much behind where you want this to steer, where you want it to go. So every piece of content, and I want you to come up with this generic, we're not going to get too much into the nitty gritty of what each piece looks like. There's time to do that in the near future, but you break up your week into, I want a YouTube video. We're not going to go into all those details, but I want a YouTube video that comes out on Sunday mornings. Okay, I can't do a YouTube video. I can't do a weekly YouTube video. Okay, I want one to come out once a month. So if we're doing a monthly piece of content, how do we create a valuable piece of content that comes out once a month? I can't do a monthly content video because that's a lot and I'm still learning to edit. Okay, let's figure out how to do that so that we can implement YouTube in later or once a year. Or let's just put a video up that's something that we know in the future we can make better, but we're still going to make it so that if it were to pop off, it were to be serving your brand, your business. So we're going to put out exactly what we want. This is going to look different for everyone. So let's use me 10 years ago, what my content would have looked like. Yeah, let's use it because I was gung-ho on YouTube. I was on Mondays, I had Make It Your Mondays. Tuesday, I had Tuesdays on Millennial Moms. Walt Disney Wednesdays, and then I think I had Fun and Free Fridays, which was 4 YouTube videos a week, which is pretty much when life went haywire and I kind of got crazy. So I'll just leave it at that. But I loved it. Honestly, I was young. I could do it. I I don't know how I did it. Half the time I look back, I'm like, girl, sit down, take a nap. But I would plug those in. Now, then I would go in and I would title them. Knowing me, I would go in for the next like 3 months and try to make titles for all of them. Now, knowing the titles, I would know, okay, I need a list of supplies that I'm going to need for each one. And that's going to go on my other content planning, the stuff I got to do for the content planning. And at that time, I think I did not have an Instagram. I had a personal one. I had a Facebook. So I did have a Facebook page and I don't remember if we were even I think I would, this was I remember now. I would schedule a YouTube video. I would link it to Pinterest. Then I would share the link on my Facebook page. That's it. I wouldn't upload the video to Facebook. So there's a lot more strategy needed today with so many social medias going on. But the nice thing about YouTube is you can go back and do that. Oh, I could do that again. Like I could take those videos that maybe weren't shared yet and I could repurpose them, or I could create a short and upload that to TikTok now to promote an old video that I created, which I do a lot and will be coming out later, like more in my schedule. So I want you to set this up in a tangible way that you can handle. I know some of us work full time, some of us are taking care of people. I know that it's going to be not easy, but that's why your content schedule is your content schedule. So if you realistically can only put out one Instagram post a week, then that's it. But I suggest maybe rethinking if this is something you want to do, because content is king and you will need to put some effort into your content. Now we're going to talk strategy, and then we're also going to let's talk about it in this video. So content batching, content creation. Yes, we'll probably need to do another full video just on creating your content, but you can create content for massive amounts of content. You don't need to sit down, film a video, edit a video, post a video, all of that thing. That's where we're going to talk about evergreen content in another video. But with that, we can film sit down videos where we can snip parts of them that we use for shorts. We can snip parts of them to use for uh, teasers for other videos. And we want to think of our everything we do for our brand cohesively pushing to our hub where we want people. And my business members, they should know what a hub is, but if they don't, it might be because you just haven't been around long enough. But we will chat hub, we will talk hub a lot. I am going to make the Cinderella ears. I will record the process. Fun. How can we work that into soap though, Barbara? We gotta do that. Can we talk about Pinterest on Zoom? Of course we can. I love Pinterest. Pinterest is a tried and true social media, and it is an SEO searchable engine. So working Pinterest into your content is 100%. So let's talk about the pieces of content I think that you should actually have going on. This side of the screen, remember, is our product. So we will talk about product. If your product has no process and has no way to create it and no way to um, be in a system where if somebody were to come to you and order something from you, you have no business being on this side. You just don't. So there is this content that is 100% the most important. When I say content is king, I mean content is king. The content that you are actually selling, the content that you are actually trying to monetize is key. Are you a digital designer? Are you a physical product maker? We need to get that on wrap before we move it to this side of the screen where we're telling people about it. Think about if I were to be an ice cream truck seller and I took my ice cream truck out just because it could drive, but my ice cream wasn't ready. And my ice cream wasn't, I didn't even know like where the cones were or where I was sourcing my cones. So if I sell out, where am I going to get more or how to even make the ice cream in that matter? And I'm driving the truck around and I'm like, hey, buy my ice cream. What? What ice cream? Or maybe I had a little bit and it's sold out, or maybe not because people aren't don't even know what you're doing. So you got to know what you're doing. We got to get a content strategy on the inside before we go to the outside. A lot of you guys are working on that. A lot of you guys are doing a great job at that. A lot of you guys are still trying to figure out what you even want to do. So obviously, we're not going to be that far into that process, and that's fine. Um, I'll be pushing you guys like crazy when I see there's a step and it's not happening though. So, yes, we will talk more about Pinterest, but so where to start for sure, that, okay? I mean, it doesn't hurt to be on social media, but it actually does hurt to be on social media because you could be driving traffic to something that doesn't exist yet. But you also like, okay, so that's kind of the thing is if we're over here and this is not ready, the content over here needs to be follow along the process of me setting up my new business. Okay. It can be there, but it needs to be thoughtful and it needs to be pushing to what they're actually going to see. People love the process. So if you are in this process, I want this content over here to really be teaser friendly to getting to know you, the heart behind what you're doing, the heart behind why you're doing it, um, helpful hints and tips that you're learning along the way, hiccups, hard things, you run into permit issues. Like people love that stuff. We have a business, we have a restaurant that's been trying to open for 2 years up in the mountains and they cannot get their permits. So they now have a food truck outside. While they are building the building, they are posting about building this building and people are going to probably be so excited to go to this restaurant because they shared the process and we know how hard they worked through it. So I love that idea. That's something we'll definitely be sharing more. A great person who's doing this is Sherry. She is setting up her studio while she is learning all the tidbits of the product she's going to be creating. And she's painting her studio and she's learning to sew things and she's documenting that. And I'm super proud of her because she didn't even I don't know, maybe you are scared to post on social media, but you wouldn't know. She just did it. She just put her camera up and filmed herself sewing and was like, "Hey, this is me." And the real side of that was she had mentioned, "I'm going to be boring in this video." And in reality, it's like, "No, girl, you're learning to sew. Like it's okay to just be normal. Like I don't expect you to turn around and be like, "Welcome to my," like don't do that. Be yourself, you know? It'll also come to. Can you do faceless content the whole time? I don't want to show. Why are my comments doing this? Okay, there we go. I don't want to show my face. Absolutely, you can do faceless content. Do you know the face behind any brand out there? Like bigger brands. But while I suggest having a sweet little area on your blog or on your website or on your social media, even that's maybe pinned, where you introduce yourself and the story behind where you started and why you started, I don't think you need to show up all the time. I do think you should do a check in once in a while. I was just on somebody's Instagram this morning or somewhere, and it was just a personal person. It wasn't her business, but I was like, dude, she needs to update her Facebook. So I was trying to figure out this family that lives nearby because I wanted to reach out, and I was like, how old are their kids? And then I realized like her update was like super old. So anyways, I just had to update actually because mine said I'm a mommy of two, and I had a bunch of stuff in there that I was like, I just want to change that. So but your content itself, and I started faceless actually, and I just wanted to stay faceless, but I was on Millennial Moms and they were like, we really want to see your face more. And I was just like, then I have to do audio and I have to like get dressed and not wear my pajamas to make my crafts, which is where I normally do that. What I normally look like I've been actually having a very hard time documenting behind the scenes because legit, I wake up in the morning, hair's a mess. I try sometimes I'll like pop the camera on and I'm like, no, girl, go wash your face. Cause I literally have like makeup under my eyes and I'm just like, this is how I work. I literally just go to my computer and my brain's functioning the best in the morning. So I sit down, do all my emails, and I'm like, that's life, you know? So, that is where I'm at with my business, where I need to show more content, such as the process, tips, and etc. Yes. And there's two really good things about sharing the process is you have an opportunity to share what you're really really good at, and don't be ashamed of being good at something. That's called a gift, and that's called God. Like, honestly, you were created to be good at things, but it also gives you an opportunity to share reality and where you are bad at things. And people really love that, not because they want to see you suffer, but because they want to know that they're not alone and they want to know that it's doable for everyone, even though not everything is doable for everyone. I'm a big fan of being a realist too. Like, hey, it might not be the season for you to do this, but you can watch me push through when I know it's my season and maybe I don't know how to sew that great yet. So I'm going to document myself learning to sew, or maybe I'm learning a new machine, or and you guys have seen me do this in the last couple weeks, months. I am hating the machines that are coming out, and I literally have a YouTube channel where I review machines. But I also have let that kind of take me in a route that if I were to look back, if I were to tell myself 15 years ago when I was writing this out and it was just a couple videos, and I were to sit myself down and say, hey, Auntie Tay, did you know in 10 years you are going to have gone through this, and this, and you're going to be educating on machines? You're going to be a machine educator. I would be like, what? That's not what I do. And I'm trying to find my roots right now. I think this box has really kicked me into gear because I'm so excited to like actually make things with it because I'm not using a machine for any of it. And I could sit and blame Cricut, or I could blame anyone really, but it's really me. I was not steering my ship. I was not thinking evergreen. Is that my fault? Yes and no, but did I know? No. So am I going to teach you guys? Yes. I don't want you guys to get something shiny in your face and steer your ship. I could be that shiny thing for you. I don't want to actually be that too. I want you to know who you are. And something I love in my business members is when I give them idea and they come back and they challenge it. And I will gladly say that might not be for you, and that might not be something you want to do. And I want you to know if that I want you to challenge me in that. I want you to say, "No, I don't think I really want to do that." That's great because I don't want to push you anywhere you don't want to go. But when I know you're on board, I'm going to give you the steps, I'm going to give you the tasks, and I'm going to show you where to go because I have successfully pushed myself in the wrong direction to the point where I girl bossed way too hard in the wrong direction to where I simmered it down for a bit. Yes, it helped that I was in a season where simmering down was acceptable because I had just life hit after hit after hit. So I took that time to whine and cry, honestly, and almost give up. And God put it back in my heart and showed me, no, get back up. It's time, but I want you to steer the ship this time. I want you to do it in a way that you would have done this. So I almost feel like I'm restarting, but while I'm restarting, I'm taking everything that I've learned and helping you guys not do that. Everything. There's so much that we could talk about. That's why I sometimes feel like I'm all over the place, because I'm like, you don't even know. I have so many thoughts on that. I'm so glad you didn't. Thank you. I'm so glad I didn't too, because honestly, I would just be living in the mountains, probably looking at squirrels all day and not have any money, which I'm doing a couple of those things anyways, but now I'm still doing my business at the same time. No, so reality is, guys, you start businesses to make money, right? And as bad as that sounds, not it doesn't even sound bad. We're not even going to talk about money like it's bad. The reality is you start a business because of financial need, right? And this is where for the next couple months, anyone who has been joining my Zooms, I'm doing one-on-one business consultation budget check-ins. This will be something that I'm adding to my business membership for one-on-one consultation, for like an extra service that people can book with me. But I am going to be doing it specifically with you guys, because you guys have stuck with me through this messy season and I'm so loving it. But I'm also going to be using your guys's uh examples, not so much you, but like to figure out exactly like what people actually need in financial coaching and financial business setups and startups and stuff. So that means Jennifer, Melissa, Missy, Clarita's not here this morning, but Sherry, like all of you guys who've been showing up, Melissa, even I saw you for a second, but you're not here anymore. 100%, like I want to jump in. I want to use those financial skills that I've been blessed to walk through and help you guys. And while I drove a ship really well for a while and crashed it, I will say. I allowed it to get crushed by me. I'm just going to take ownership for all of it. I am getting back on my ship. I'm getting not on necessarily a new ship, but anyways, what does this have to do with content strategy, planning content for your business? Okay, so fail to plan to fail, right? That is a huge truth that people need to learn. And we talked about how it's biblical. We also talked about how it's not even like, it's just reality. If we don't plan, life will plan us. And you will be chasing I don't have anything for you for that. You'll be chasing the wind. Thanks, Barbara. She said, we're here for you. Give me all the product ideas you can for me to try. Yes, Jennifer. So I was in a bookstore the other day and I was taking pictures, but they didn't have much. They had some cool stuff, but I'll send you what I got, because there was some cool stuff in there. So if you can go to like local shops too that sell to local people, because you're going to be selling to the masses online, that's a great way to look at product stuff. Don't scare me. Think budget. Yes. Oh, you're talking about to Jennifer. I don't know. So, in reality, the hard truth of business is, the way I was going to bring him, but he's in my other office. My book that I blinged by Dave Ramsey, the Build a Business You Love. I just love that he breaks down in the very beginning, like, numbers don't lie and numbers are really needed in business. And there's this huge like stigma that talking about money is bad, and breaking down the desire for making money is bad. But in reality, it's not. And managing money is needed for everyone. I don't care who you are. You need to learn how to manage money. But if you're a business owner, you need to learn how to manage money. Okay. It's not a joke, especially if you're planning to scale this and have other people help you eventually. It's important. So, this is not a budget video. We will talk budget later, but content is king. Write it down, get excited, draw it up, color code it. So this will be a free printable that you guys can get. I am going to do a fun challenge for August. What should our hashtag be? I want you guys to post your content schedule. You don't have to post it in your stories. If you don't want it to be on your actual page. Okay, this is where I love stories. Get real in your stories, okay? Your stories disappear in 24 hours. They're a great place to just dump it all. Dump your thoughts, reshare your funny posts, dump your fun challenges that people want to do, enter giveaways, whatever. It's your stories. Share your 6 July pics. Like that's where people really get to know you. And if you really have that desire to connect and be human in your stories. Be human once in a while on your main page and show what your brand is, so that if somebody were to come to your main page and want to know what you do, taste planning. I read that differently. I'll tell you in a second. And they want to know what you do. It needs to be obvious. But then when they go to your stories, they're going to go, I really like this Barbara lady. She is so funny. Always, because she's hilarious. Barbara's literally so funny. Tay's planning. So I read that as Tay's planning, like mansplaining. And I was like, you know what? I probably do taste plain a lot. Can't wait to see everyone's calendars, and don't be scared to be real. Yeah. So I don't have like actually, I don't want to pair it to the box, but just share it just to inspire each other. And taste planning is good. The hashtag Tays. Well, okay, let's keep it. Let's do Tay's business members. That way, when we do more monthly challenges, we'll just stick with that. And then that way you can go back and see all of the fun things that you were a part of as a business member. Okay, I'm going to type it in the chat because I don't want it to be that. I want it to be Tay's Biz, B-I-Z, members. Like that. Okay. Tay's Biz members. And that's going to be our hashtag we're using for any challenge I give you guys. If you were in the Zoom last night, I shared these with you already. If you're in Wednesday's Zoom, I will reshare them. So if you're like, I don't want to wait till Monday to get the free printable, download it. I think you guys most of you downloaded it. If not, all the good stuff will be there. So color code it, make stickers, have fun with it. And see, that's the fun thing is I'm going to laminate mine. You can laminate yours so you can play with it. You could put stickers on first and then laminate it so the stickers don't get funky when you draw on them. But DIY this thing. That's why we start here, right? You guys all found me because you're DIYers, I think. No, not everybody. Look at this. This is my broom. It should probably, I only use it to actually turn my lights on. I don't actually sweep because there's nowhere to sweep right now. Okay. Anyways, coin the term taste-plaining. Okay, I got this. That's what all these are about is taste-plaining, man. Okay. So, questions about content planning? Did I cover enough? We will break more of these down. If you guys are learning a lot from these videos, I will be taste planning a lot because they're really fun for me, actually. This is like my brain. I'm a nerd at heart, and I'm a nerd at outside and inside, all the things. You know, it's funny. You're going to get a lot of my own randomness too in these. So I'm wanting to change my style. Not change it, but like inside my brain, I'm like this cool, edgy person. I don't know where I get this idea. But when I go shopping, I always gravitate towards the bright colored patterns. And I was like, that's because you're not cool and edgy. Like, I'm like, but I could add this into the wardrobe. Anyways, I'm a visual person, so to see example will be awesome. Yeah, so if you see other people's and it inspires you, actually that'll be super helpful, period, because you guys will actually get to see each other's and you'll get to see, okay, here's the thing, guys. Do not get intimidated by somebody who has all the time in the world to create content, okay? I will do mine. This is actually going to be an amazing challenge because I printed these out because I was like, I need to do this too. But like this one is great, I think, for your actual breakdown of what you need to do for your content because it's got these big areas. And I'm thinking about like how we actually do our newsletter now and like things we need to do. I just like it. This is all weekly too. So I think we need a quarterly and a monthly, which we have plenty of those printables on the member projects. So if you want to print like a monthly and a quarterly, you can do that as well. But this is really going to be for your weekly content because realistically, like people love weekly stuff. They love when things come out on a weekly basis. They know they can see another video on Tuesdays or whatever. I'm a visual person, so to see examples. Oh, I already read that. I like the bigger boxes, says Barbara. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about these. I thought we were talking about the mystery box. My brain's on mystery box. I gotta go ship some more out today. Y'all are buying them. I'm so excited. So, just a shameless plug of our mystery box. It's still available, but we have the influencers coming out next week too. So, like, okay, I'm on fire for this because this was my first time I've ever done an annual piece of content. And it's so cool because I'm looking back and going, whoa, there were so many moving parts to this project. And I would have probably got overwhelmed if I had seen them all and what it would have entailed. But because it took a year to really do this, and we're still not done, we still have like a whole content filming and editing portion of this. And then we have the event, which is going to be a marathon on my YouTube channel, September 26th and 7th, a Friday and a Saturday. And we're going to do like all these giveaways and fun things. All that to say, that would have been like an annual content planner just for that one event. And so you can do this for each, like compartmentalize it into like events that you plan to do, or like, so for Melissa, if you're planning to do like a party, okay, stop touching the table, Tay. Okay, it's an ASMR channel now. Don't do that. That's weird. You could do like each party have its own. I mean, everything's going to look differently for everyone. So I just 100% everyone needs to write their stuff down, plan it out. I should be getting my first one today. Whoop whoop. Your first one, Missy. Did you buy another one? What? Okay, so I am actually making samples with things in it this week, and I have so many ideas that I'm just like, pick one, do it. And I cannot wait for Lindsay, Ivy, and Jess to show you guys what they're making with their stuff too. So we will all be together next week. It'll be fun. But again, that's content planning. So if you're a business member, I'll see you guys tomorrow night in Zoom. If you are not and you want to be one, join our business membership. It's only $15 a month right now, and it will be going up in 2026 when the curriculum comes out, and I will be offering some one-on-one coaching sessions that will be more. But if you join right now, we have a lot of fun perks while you're waiting for the new stuff to come out. So I bought one for my stepsister and for her birthday so we can do it together. Oh, I love that. Oh, so fun. Okay. I can't wait. All right. Okay. I will see you guys. I have another video like this week, and I just have way too much stuff going on to show up every single day, but we are going to chat. What is my next topic? Systems. Okay, but if you're a business member and you don't like this stuff, I don't know. Systems are a big, like all of these things are a big part of business. So geek out on it. And if you don't like systems, you're gonna have to hire someone eventually to do them for you. That's all I can say. So you still got to learn them though, because you got to know exactly your system before you can outsource it. So there's that. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you guys probably Thursday with that topic. Bye, guys.